Hello and welcome to the Common Cantonese Words Every Beginner Must Know series. Now in this lesson, I'm going to go over the words that are related to the Chinese characters of edge, I, feel, few, and good. Now, if you want to study these words that I will teach you in this lesson, please consider to download our Android app, in which it contains the flashcards and quizzes that will help you review the words that you will learn in this lesson. The first Chinese character that I want to talk about is the character edge, in which in Cantonese it is bin. If you want to say which or who in Cantonese, then you could say bin go. If you want to say where in Cantonese, then you can say bin dou. Now, if you want to say really and in disbelief, then you would say bin yao. Especially with the disbelief, you would probably want to add the word in the end. So in the end, you would say bin yao. Then another way to say where in Cantonese, though it's not as popular and it's probably an older form of saying, it is bin xu. Now this is like more or less it's said by people of older generation. So if you want to say where, still I would recommend to say bin dou. Now if you wish to review these words in flashcard or quiz format, please look at our Android app in the flashcard set deck named Words with Edge. The second Chinese character that I want to talk about is the Chinese character I. And I in Cantonese is pronounced nan. If you want to say vision, or that you have good taste, or vision or taste in Cantonese would be ngan guang. So if people are saying you have a good vision or you have good taste, and I mean vision is not sight, but vision in terms of taste, or a vision in terms of the what the path should be, then you will say 你有眼光. Now if you want to say present, now, or literally is just in front of your eyes, then you can say in Cantonese 眼前. Now if you want to say tears in Cantonese, then you can say 眼淚. Now if you want to say expression or emotion showing in one's eyes in Cantonese, then you can say 眼神. Now if you wish to review these words in flashcard or quiz format, please look under the Android app under the flashcard set named Words with I. The third Chinese character that I want to talk about is the Chinese character that represents feel. And in Cantonese, this Chinese character is pronounced gam. And feeling, or to feel, in Cantonese is pronounced gam sao. Now if you want to say feeling or emotion or sensation or deep affection or relationship in Cantonese, then you will say 感情. Now if you wanted to say feeling of the senses in Cantonese, then you can say 感覺. Now if you wish to review these words in the Android app, please look at the flashcard set named Words with Feel. The fourth Chinese character that I want to talk about is the Chinese character that represents feel. And feel in Cantonese is pronounced xiu, xiu. Now, of course, this within combination of other Chinese characters produces words of different meanings. So, for example, if we want to say a young woman or a girl or a young lady in Cantonese, we would say xiu nü, xiu nü. Now, if you want to say a little bit or a little in Cantonese, then you would say xiu xiu, xiu xiu. Now, for example, if you are talking about a the children or the younger person of a family on which you serve, or that it is the younger person in a rich family, then you will say xiu ye, xiu ye. Now, if you wish to review these words in the Android app, please look at the flashcard set named Words with Feel. The fifth Chinese character that I want to talk about is the Chinese character that represents good. And in Cantonese, it is pronounced hou, hou. Now, if you want to say somebody is a good person, then you can use the word hou yan, hou yan. So, for example, if I say you are a good person, then I would say 你係一個好人。你係一個好人 where 你係 is you are, 一個 means a, and 好人 means a good person. Now, if you want to say be like or be very similar to, then you would say 好似，好似。Now, if you want to say, is it good or not, or is it all right, then you can say 好冇，好冇. So basically, this is like a very short form of saying 好唔好，好唔好. And if you want to say, oh, it's okay or fine, then you can say 好啊，好啊. Now, if you want to have an expression of admiration or a cry of delight or excitement in Cantonese, then you can say 好嘢，好嘢. Now, if you want to say luckily or fortunately, then you can say 好在，好在. So this would actually usually follow up with what you are fortunately about. So, for example, if I say fortunately I won, then I could say 好在我贏咗，好在我贏咗, which 好在 means fortunately, and then 我贏咗 means I won. Now, if I want to say a lot, much, or many in Cantonese, then I could say 好多，好多. And if I want to say many times in Cantonese, then I could say 好多時，好多時. So, for example, I could say many times it rained, then I could say 好多時落雨，好多時落雨. Now, lastly, if I want to say curious in Cantonese, then I could say 好奇，好奇. So, for example, though, if I want to say I am very curious, then I could say 我好好奇，我好好奇. Now, in here you could see that there is two 好 in this sentence, and the first one means very in this case, and then 好奇 is another word for curious. So 我好好奇 means I am very curious. Now, if you wish to review these words in our Android app, please look under the flashcard set deck named Words with Good. And there are actually a lot of words that are associated with this Chinese character. So now let's go over more of them. So remember when I said that in my last sentence, it's 我好好奇, where 好 means very. So in this case, 好好 means very good and very well. And if I would say very easy, in a sense, then I could say 好容易,好容易. Now, if I want to say very little or rarely, then I could say 好少,好少. Now, if you want to say lucky in Cantonese, then you could say 好彩,好彩. Now, if you want to say something that it's really great, either it's sarcastically or non-sarcastically, but a lot of times it's used sarcastically, then you could say 好得,你好得. Now, informally or sarcastically, if you want to say please, then you could say 好心,好心. And this usually ends with another word, another character, which is la, 好心啦,好心啦. And if you want to say eager to or really want to do, then you could say 好想,好想. Now, if you want to say good intention in Cantonese, then you could say 好意,好意. Now, if you want to say to have the nerve or to feel no shame or to overcome the shame, then you could say 好意思,好意思. So, for example, this is usually said to other people. So, for example, if I wanted to say, oh, you still have the nerve or to feel no shame in asking more money. So in this case, I would say 你仲好意思問我借錢, where 你仲好意思, it's you still have the nerve, 去問我借錢 means to ask me for lending you money. Now, on the other hand, if you want to say excuse me in Cantonese, then you could say 唔好意思,唔好意思. Now, this actually sounds wrong because you should actually tone down the last character if you would say excuse me in Cantonese. So instead, you would say 唔好意思,唔好意思. And lastly, a good friend in Cantonese is 好朋友,好朋友. Fun to do in Cantonese is pronounced 好玩,好玩. And good looking in Cantonese means 好睇,好睇. Very funny in Cantonese is pronounced 好笑,好笑. A very long time in Cantonese is pronounced 好耐,好耐. If it's pleasant to hear in Cantonese, it is said 好聽,好聽. And to speak well of or words of praise, then you could say 好話,好話. Now, for example, if I want to ask people to say good words of praise about me, then I could say 講句好話,講句好話, which 講句 means speak then 好話 is words of praise. And similarly, you could actually say 講句好說話, which means the same thing. Now, if you want to say easy to say in Cantonese, then you could say 好講,好講. But mostly it is actually linked up with the character 仲 in the beginning. So usually when you say easy to say, then you will say 仲好講,仲好講. Lastly, if you want to say delicious or tasty in Cantonese, then you would say 好食,好食. Now, if you like the content and you like the knowledge that you learn, please like and subscribe to our channel. As well as, if you have not done so already, I recommend you to download our Cantonese learning app, in which the link is in the description below. So this app contains the flashcard decks, as well as the quizzes of the words that you have learned in this lesson, as well as the other lessons that I have offered in my channel. Also, if you have any other learning questions, or want to connect with other people who are learning Cantonese the same as you, please join our community Discord channel, in which I will be there, as well as other learners will be there to answer your questions, as well as to mingle. And of course, the Discord channel link is in the description below as well. Now, thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next lesson.